What's up, guys? Welcome back to this week's McInnes Marketing Minute. Today, we're going to talk about what's going to happen with prices now the market has seemed to slow down. Isn't that right, Jay? That's right, I'm out.
So as Ben just said, the market's changing. Slowly but surely. So does that mean we see prices adjust, which is everyone's biggest question? With velocity slowing down, are prices now going to sink, stay flat? Is there stability? What do you think?
To answer your question, Jay, as much as a lot of buyers out there would like to think that the market is now slowed down, so therefore we're going to see prices take a drop. That's usually the go-to of the naysayers. Oh, watch the market now. Pricing, in my opinion, no, is not going to drop. In fact, the market has already shown signs that it's slowing down, but prices still went up 1.5% over last month. So although it's slowing down, it doesn't necessarily mean that the market's going to follow up with a complete and utter price drop. I think when you look at fundamentals of this, the market doesn't operate so quickly like stocks. They go up and down so quickly. When the market starts to slow, and I say starts to slow loosely because although it's slowing, we're still heavily in seller's market territory like we discussed. It takes time and it needs to be a trend for anything to actually take place in terms of pricing. So for example, we're still in a seller's market. Even when we hit those balanced market ratios, the first time we hit those balanced market ratios, it doesn't mean that the prices are going to drop. We need to stay in that realm for a number of months. And then guess what? We're in a balanced market. We're not in a prices dropping kind of market. So short answer to your question, no, I do not think market prices are going to drop.
I think what everyone, buyers specifically in this, and I totally agree with you, obviously. Is that there's another, like, sellers typically don't have to sell. Mm-hmm. If you want to sell, let's try this number, and if we can get it, great. If not, we'll just pull it off. Very few times in transactions does someone go out and buy something and have to sell. Mm-hmm. Most people will sell first so they know how much money they're dealing with and then go purchase. Are there those circumstances where it happens the other way? Yes, but there's someone on the other side of the table, obviously, always. So when you're trying to get a deal or, well, things have slowed down, right? So this is why we're going to offer this, or start thinking that you have leverage as a buyer in this still very strong seller's market, the person on the other side, just put yourself in their shoes. Are they going to say, well, here's 100,000 off the top just because the news says that this or that, so on and so forth? Mm-hmm. It just doesn't work that way. There's just as much emotion as you have on this side of the table, the other guys have on the other side to get that peak price. And it's not, like you say, it's not the stock market where it's just right there, press a button and go. You're still dealing with the expectations and emotions of the sellers on the other side.
And the important thing to think as well is, to that point, we're not in buyer's market. Just because it's gone from insanely hot seller's market, we're still in seller's market territory. So it's not jumped to the complete other side. So let's not get ahead of ourselves here and realize where the market is actually at.
It needs to be looked at again, and I know we've said this before, but it needs to be looked at as an opportunity for buyers, not to offer below what is a justified market, but an opportunity to get in with less competition. Yeah, possibly even without competition. The luxury of having subjects. So it's not, it's just in no way a strong buyer's market whatsoever.
Absolutely, absolutely. So in short, what a price is going to do, we actually think they're going to more so stabilize. I can see that fluctuating a little bit over the coming months. As we said, the market did just go up last month, even though numbers are showing otherwise, but it's going to be at more of a steady pace, and it's not going to be to the crazy levels in which they're talking about, or which we've seen, I would say, over the last 6 months.
Yeah, again, there's no catalyst other than kind of buyer exhaustion that's done this. Yeah. So I think people are taking a break, and because of that, it looks like there's a little bit less pressure on the market, but it's not like anything fundamental has changed. So with that being said, I think to my last point of seller motivation, I think it's going to hold and prices are going to stay where they are. You're just not going to have this frenzied attack on new listings that come to market like we used to. But the prices are going to stay pretty even because there's, in my opinion, no fundamental reason why they would drop and why sellers need to take that cheaper price.
And that pretty much wraps us up for this week. As always, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.